Quarantiki number I can't drive 55.
55.
Yeah, 55.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a live studio audience this evening. Yay! Because people are getting vaccinated and
Yeah.
and
So I got to show the one on your hat. I've got one on me, on his other hat.
who knows what she's doing. Oh,
Got
right.
me fully vaccinated.
Got her Fauci ouchies.
So yeah, we are joined this evening by Vince and Nancy. You might know Nancy better as Virginia T. Maven.
Hello.
So
On
She'll come up,
Instagram, not on Facebook.
yeah,
though.
she'll come up here later. Say hi.
steal a drink from me, like
Yeah.
seems to happen every week. Tonight, special request. We are toasting with the plantation Isle of Fiji, which we quite like Fijian rums, and this is a good example of them. So
Fijian.
Fijian.
Okay. I didn't know what that word was.
So
Hi, Dave.
to having a live studio audience, to seeing people without masks,
All
and
right.
socialization that is not via Zoom. I mean, holy crap.
Mm. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's light.
Oh, that's lovely.
There's a hint of sweetness to it, but it's certainly not overpowering. It's fruity. There's a fruitiness
is
to
fruity.
it.
The
Yeah.
banana funk is almost like a fresher banana.
Yes, as opposed to,
The rotten banana.
here's Dr. Bird, and I don't know, but wow, those rotted banana peels are really quite tasty. Yeah. No, it's a very different flavor, but I mean it's a similar flavor, but in an entirely different direction. Yeah, than the Jamaicans, and it doesn't.
Nice.
Yes, there's something burning, and yes, it's incense, like it always is. At least for now. There might be something else burning later, maybe. We'll see how that goes.
He's so subtle.
Subtle, yeah. So what are we doing tonight? Well, so we could have done a tribute to the Kentucky Derby, but we've done mint juleps before, and we've done tiki takes on mint juleps, so yeah, why? But this is kind of the official weekend for the pagan holiday of Beltane, and moving from winter into spring, and renewal, and fertility, and all that sort of good thing. So sure, why not? That sounds like a thing to do. So we're gonna celebrate the rites of Beltane this evening with, and we're gonna do 3 drinks that are. You would be surprised how hard it is to find drinks that are actually related to Beltane. It's like,
We have a great cherry.
we do? Oh my
Yes.
gosh! Wow!
His
Yay!
first day on Facebook. He's had some rum in the Coke he's drinking.
Greg is an old and dear friend of mine. Okay, Greg and I have been friends for a long time. I don't think Greg is old. We went to the same master's program down in San Bernardino and been tight friends ever since. And this is Greg's inaugural day on Facebook. And I dare say, I think part of the reason he joined was for these broadcasts. So there we go.
We have a
I corrupted somebody and drugged them over to Facebook.
we have a Colleen
I
and
feel
a
so
Kristen
dirty.
and a Ruth.
Hi. There's no way I'm going to keep track of like all of the people,
It's okay.
because then I have to reach over across the burning incense and scroll, which, Kirsten, Colleen, Ruth, hi all, hi. So there's my so scripted intro to tonight's episode.
You want to introduce Nancy? Go on up, say hi to
Oh.
people.
Sure. We're going to bring Virginia T. Maven up here on Instagram, and quite enjoy following her posts and seeing what she's drinking on a daily basis.
Hello.
Say hi to Nancy, everyone.
Hi,
Yay!
Nancy. I post on random subjects on Instagram under virginia.t.maven. Cats, cocktails, cooking, baking.
Tea.
Almost never tea. But
We
She
met
is the
them-
reason that I'm using a tea-infused liquor this evening, right? So,
I did used to teach classes on tea.
Oh,
Okay.
and
But
Keith Green is here too.
excellent.
And Amanda.
Yes. We're excited to be
So
here.
many people. Awesome. Awesome. We introduced them to our puffer fish and
Like
showed them the setup. They didn't run screaming in terror, so apparently there's nothing too horrifying about
And
what.
if I remember correctly, we met you at the counter at Captain Gregory's.
Well, no, we met. At the
We
first
actually
year.
met
Oh, that's right.
before
We
that.
met at the Birchmere.
But you didn't really know. We sat across from each other at least twice at Gaelic Storm,
At Gaelic Storm concerts, because
concerts.
And I didn't put it all together.
And then when we saw you at Captain Gregory's, we
Like,
thought, well,
aren't-
clearly we need to introduce ourselves to these
aren't
people.
you the Gaelic Storm fans? Yeah. No, we hate Irish music. We just show up for everything the Birchmere does, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to let Preach do his thing. All right.
What is my thing? I don't
You
know.
got many highs.
Got many
Oh,
highs.
nice.
Yay. So, I could sit here and talk, or I could make cocktails. So why don't I make some cocktails? We're going to start with a cocktail that has been tested once, like 20 minutes ago. So this is a riff on a drink called the That's What She Said. And I have completely I've rejiggered the drink and renamed it the Greenman in honor of Beltane and the fabled Greenman. That's what she said. The reference here is that there is an long infused alcohol in this. And the number of people watching just dropped. No. So we happen to have some oolong infused vodka left over from our last shaker from our last shaker and spoon session. So we're going to use that up because I have vodka in the house. I need to use it up. Why, right? But it has flavor because it has oolong tea infusion. So it actually tastes like oolong tea.
David suggests we have anti-virgin drinks for Beltane.
3, 4. There's at least one cocktail on here with 6 ounces of rum in it. So, and some of that is going to be overproof. So I think we got you covered on the anti-virgin end of things. But we're gonna start with the Greenman, and it's actually really fairly simple cocktail. It is shaken. We are going to start with a Greenman. It's going to have a green color to it, and we could do that with chartreuse, but chartreuse is produced by monks. Kind of the anti-Beltane concept here. So we're going to go with a different green alcohol. We're going with Midori, because you got to love the almost Gatorade color of Midori. And it's relatively sweet, so that's going to be like all of the sweetness that we get is coming off of the Midori. So we're going to go ½ ounce of the Midori. ½ ounce Midori. And once again, I'm putting the sugary substances in first so that my jigger can be rinsed out by all of the other ingredients. The test run we did of this determined that probably for a full-size cocktail, the lime juice might be a little heavy, so we're cutting back from 1 ounce to 3/4 of an ounce. Which reminds me I should probably do a double of this, so let's go back to the Midori. I have a studio audience. I'm not used to a studio audience. Okay, so go back here. There's another ½ ounce of Midori. There we go. So 3/4 of an ounce and 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice would be 1.5 ounces. See, kids, stay in school. Learn how to make drinks for your parents. 3/4. And 3/4. And the sour will neatly wash all of the sickly sweet Midori out of there. Dry gin. Okay, so we're going to use, what gin did I pull? Oh, right, I pulled the Edinburgh gin. Classic Edinburgh gin, Scottish gin. Wow, that was an interesting sound we got there. ½ ounce, so in this case we're doubling it, so a full ounce. All right, there we go. And then last but not least, that fell over, that goes back, is the oolong infused vodka. See? Nice. Oolong infused vodka.
Very nice.
Tea is actually quite a common ingredient in a number of different cocktails and is often a base weak ingredient for
Mhm.
tiki drinks.
Yep.
And in fact, the punch that I usually serve at my tiki parties has as its base Russian caravan tea,
Yeah.
which
oh,
is
love her.
oolong and you would know,
Lapsang Souchong.
Yes.
right? Lapsang Souchong and
Smoked
oolong.
over pine wood.
Yeah. It's and it. You've had the punch.
Yeah, I do actually know something
Yeah.
about
Yeah. So for
What-
those that don't know, Shaker and Spoon, I put the link, our referral link in there.
They send you everything but the alcohol.
Yeah, so you make 3 different drinks.
Which means the liquor stores around you really love Shaker
Right.
and
They do
Spoon.
recommend a couple of the different, each one is based on a different spirit.
Vodka.
Last one was vodka. Which is kind of, I think, the only reason we have vodka in the house, pretty much.
I do use vodka for Halloween parties.
Right, we do have Blue Vod,
Cleaning.
which is a black vodka. So yeah, it's a kind of a fun thing. We have a group of friends that do it, and we Zoom together to do the Shaker and Spoon. But there's a Facebook group and stuff like that, so it's kind of fun.
My
But
ice
ice
has
melted
melted
together.
together, that's not going to work. So we're just going to reach over here. There we go. Knock that out. Drop those in. And then we're going to shake this, right? And so I need a top to shake this. This is totally weird. I am completely and utterly thrown by the fact that I have an audience here this evening. It's like, what? I know I have no idea where my eyes are supposed to go, which
It's
is
okay,
funny
just pretend we're not
because the
here.
camera is right in front of them. So it's just focal length is the only difference. Hi. See, you can tell a little bit of an oops here is that this should actually be served in a chilled coupe glass. And if I would have been smart, I would have dropped some ice in here to start with, but I did not. So we will get them in non-chilled coupe glasses. You guys will just have to deal.
Oh, I'm never coming back.
It's more photogenic that way because they don't frost up and block the camera.
The service in this bar is terrible. They don't know how to make cocktails.
We're gonna try and get Vince to go up and wave in front of the camera, so
That won't.
he'll at least make an appearance of the hand in front of the camera.
He exists. I
This would be Vince's arm.
promise.
Vince can't move.
Although he's trapped by
He's
Mr.
trapped by the cat.
Trapped
Yes.
under a cat.
My dear Pooch, those aren't anywhere near the wash line. That's because they're topped off with a little Prosecco, which I have a bottle of, right? So we discovered that a number of stores sell just in time for spring small bottles of Prosecco. And if you are a fan of any kind of spritz, like Aperol spritzes, Prosecco is going to be good for that. And if you don't want to kill an entire bottle of Prosecco, well, you can still kill an entire bottle of Prosecco. It'll just be a lot smaller. So there we go. And we're just going to top this off. Little Prosecco. You could garnish this, I suppose, like a lime wheel or desiccated lime wheel or something along those lines. Maybe a sprig of mint. Or you can just serve it neat, like it is. And here we have this right here is what the Greenman looks like. There we go. And you can just, I'll just move these here. What is this doing over there? I don't know. It goes over here. There you go.
Pretty.
And I will let the two of you, or the three of you, figure out how you want to
Oh,
separate those.
Thank
Right?
you.
So if you and Vince want to split one and Star will quaff the other,
All right.
I will sip on my
Thank you.
Fijian rum.
Oh my god. Oh.
See, the reason I
Very
do this
cool.
is so that people become appreciative of wait staff.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean,
Ah,
bartenders are always
You can
filling
take
things
a
right
sip
up to
out
the.
of one of them.
Oh, I could, couldn't I?
Yeah. Got a Jeff con.
Jeff,
Ooh.
yay!
There you go.
All right.
Jeff is taking me to do something I have never done.
It is Beltane, hun. What is this that he's taking you to do?
I am going to.
A fight! A fight! Oh wait, no. It's one of those things. A fight on ice. What is that called again?
With the sticks and the little puck thing.
Hockey.
Hockey. I'm going to a Caps game.
I mean, a
Awesome.
puck sounds like something related to
It's legal
Beltane,
weapons.
but it's not. So there you go. That is the Greenman. Bright, lively. How does it work with a little bit less on the lime?
Very good.
Better.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And nice with the prosecco. Very nice.
Sweet. Okay. Awesome.
Sports puck.
Sports puck. Yes, not sports ball.
puck,
Sports
sports
puck. Yep. So lovely color on that drink. I think that is and deceiving because when Vince first saw it, he was like, I usually associate this color with chartreuse. But again, that much chartreuse would be a little overpowering in this. It would be very herbally and very nice, I'm sure. But yeah, I think this really works out well
Or
with the.
artificially colored absinthe, which we don't want.
That'd be a weird
We don't-
colored
we don't.
absinthe.
And it would turn out cloudy because
That's why I say artificially
yeah,
colored.
it would be all cloudy and icky. This is at least pretty translucenty, and it's a way to use up my my infused oolong. So yeah, the original drink is gin, lime, and Saint Germain, I think, if I remember right. And that's it. That's all that's in there. So then I was like, no. Oh, we got Nancy coming over. I should do something with tea. Oh, wait, I have the tea-infused vodka. Let me use that up.
And the oolong does come through nicely.
There should be just a little hint there, which, if there's a little smokiness coming from the oolong, is kind of perfect for Beltane because they're known for having fires, the fires of Beltane. We'll be revisiting that concept later this evening when we do the Beltane Bonfire cocktail, which is going in one of these because I don't get a chance to use these very often.
And
And
sacrifice Vince and Nancy. And, oh God.
if the video quality suddenly becomes better, yeah, you'll know the sacrifice was successful and we've appeased the volcano gods of DC, right? Yeah. Hey, the lava lamps going pretty nicely up there. All right. Yep, we have a new bottled lava lamp here. New bottle of lava. It's an old base. Actually, it's a new base, old lamp, but it's new to us. And, wow, that's confusing. I'm just going to shut up about the lava lamps now. Dear Pooch, stick to making cocktails. Stop talking about lava lamps. Especially since Star desperately does not want us to begin collecting lava lamps, and neither do I, so no. All
I
right.
don't know, they're pretty cool.
They are, but you don't need to
Garage
have
sales.
garage sales,
I know,
yes.
It's garage sale season again. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Star went out and did a garage sale this
I
weekend.
tried to do a flea market.
was
last
awesome.
weekend.
I'm actually looking forward to potential for flea markets and going into consignment shops and finding tiki things and all right, so there you go. There's the Greenman. A nice, simple, bright. I think this would be a nice drink to just sit out on the back patio and have one or two of while it's blazing hot out, and that'd be okay. You could lengthen it a little more by putting a little more prosecco in there, and maybe doing it in a highball glass instead with some ice and just lengthen it out a little bit. It's really not that alcoholic. I mean, for each coupe, you're talking half an ounce of gin, half an ounce of vodka. Both of those are 40%, and the half ounce of Midori, which I could look up what the percentage of alcohol is, but really, it's Midori. We don't care, right? So it's not contributing that much. So this is a light, easy sipping kind of thing, which is what you want for spring. You don't want the big spirit forward. I'm going to avoid doing tiki drinks with lots of absinthe in them for a while because it's just not. No. I thought about doing a drink called the Swamp Zombie, it's a zombie that features Midori in it. And I went, no, that's just going to be way too heavy a drink for
No, that's summer in DC. Is the swamp.
or election season, one or the other. Yeah, Swamp Zombies. Yeah. All right. Okay, so what are we going to do? Number 2, Beltane Pagan Fairies. Yeah, there's the connection to the next drink. The next drink is the one I put in the drink notes for tonight's broadcast. So if you happen to have the ingredients for it, you can make it along with the rest of us, i.e. me, I guess. And this is a drink called the Fairy Floss that my wife picked up from somewhere. I have no idea why it's called the Fairy Floss. None. No clue.
Cotton candy like?
I don't know. I don't know what...
The English call it candy floss.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea. We are going to make a minor change to it. The wife is not a big fan of Campari, and we have been pretty successful with swapping Aperol for Campari. And I think the orangey color of it will be very spring-like and nice, whereas the deeper red Campari we'll hold off for other. We've got hibiscus syrup going in the third drink this evening. That'll cover the redness. So, we got green, we get some orange, we got some red in here. Okay, those are kind of fall colors as well, but whatever. Okay, so all right, the Fairy Floss. So what's in the Fairy Floss? Well, good question. I got to look at my board, right? Okay, so don't use that. That's your water glass, dummy. Okay. Shake and drink again. So shaker, we need a full ounce of simple syrup, and we have some homemade simple syrup. This is 2-to-1, freshly made today. And I did something different. Usually I don't bother to actually filter my basic syrups like simple syrup and demerara syrup. I went ahead and did it today. The syrups are clearer. You can see through them a little better. I'm not sure that makes up for the, oh my gosh, how long is it going to take this to actually filter through a paper filter? Yeah, it took like an hour to filter through. I mean, and this, yeah. But it's much clearer. So there's that, I guess. All right, so we have right, I want to do 2 of these. Okay, so double everything, Pooch. I'm going to go 2 ounces. So if you're following along, that's going to be 1 ounce for a single cocktail. And, right, that's 1 ounce. Tommy. I am not on my game this evening. I have only put 1 ounce in here, right? Correct? So far, okay.
We're throwing them off. We've achieved our
No.
mission.
No, it's just one of those days. There are some days where I'm a little more on. This is not one of those days. We need a full ounce of grapefruit juice, and this would be 1 ounce for a singular drink, but we're doing 2, a double portion. So we need 2 ounces of white grapefruit juice. We're just using canned Ocean Spray white grapefruit juice because, as we were having a conversation a little earlier, white grapefruits are hard to find. And as it turns out, currently out of season. Totally missed the white grapefruit season, which ended sometime in February. Oops. All right, so there's 2 ounces of grapefruit juice. What else am I doing? Aperol, yes. Half an ounce of Aperol, or in this case, doubled to... I need to move that plate. That plate goes away. Second time the plate has fallen, it gets ejected. Goodbye. Oh no. Did I really forget to? I did. Oh, there we go. Long-time viewers will know that I'm supposed to open the bottles before I start, so I know that I can actually open some. Half an ounce of Aperol, doubled for this for tonight, so full ounce of Aperol. If you're playing along with the Campari version of this, that would be the same amount of Campari. Right, so half an ounce or 1 ounce, depending on whether or not you're making a double. Then you need a really strongly botanical gin for this. And when somebody says, oh, really botanical gin, I think Uncle Val's, because yes. So, how does Uncle Val's make their gin? So a lot of gins, they throw the botanicals in and they distill, right? Through a variety of different processes. Or they'll throw the botanicals in after the distillation process, but they all throw it in to one big batch and do it that way. Uncle Val's does a distillation for each one of the botanicals.
Oh my God.
And then mixes them together. So it's like they have tinctures of all of their different botanicals and mixes it in together, which produces a wildly more botanical gin than many, many others.
And how do we know that?
We know that because we took a class on gin from...
The Museum of Distilled Spirits.
Correct, hon, the Museum of Distilled Spirits. So this drink would normally require 1.5 ounces of a botanical gin. So because we're doing a double, we're going to go 3 ounces, which is going to put a pretty hefty dent in my Uncle Val's. The flavor profile on Uncle Val's is very strong, very botanical. Do not just willy-nilly substitute this for other gins, especially any recipe that calls for a dry gin. I have attempted to do things like Singapore Slings and Saturns with just this gin. Yeah, those are not good. Not good. One of the tiki Halloween tiki drinks that I do is called a citrinoche, which is the Lovecraftian term for the planet Saturn. So it's a Saturn essentially, but with a Lovecraft theme to it. And there's a hint of the Uncle Val's in there, but the gin is split like 3 parts other gin, 1 part Uncle Val's, and it's still like, there's Uncle Val's in this, isn't there? Yeah, yep, yes, there is. This does have an egg white in it, and so for those people that don't like egg whites or are a little concerned with egg whites, you can do other things. You can use aquafaba. Aquafaba is the juice from garbanzo beans. That foams up really nicely. There's also, the Fee brothers make this stuff, Fee foam, and you can just throw some dashes in there, and it's a non-eggy alternative for shaken drinks to make them all foamy and that sort of thing. I have guests. We okay with an egg white?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Usually our eggs are pretty large. Our eggs, U.S. eggs, tend to be a little on the larger side, especially with classic cocktails. And most of the time when a classic cocktail calls for an egg white, you can pretty well get away with like half an egg white. Since we're making a double here, we're just going to go with an entire egg white. Yes, I cracked it earlier. I'm not going to be stupid and do that on screen. And
Amanda wants to know
Get-
what Fee foam is.
You looked it up one time. Yeah. What it
wow, is that printing really small? Oh, there we go. Water, propylene glycol, polysorbate 80 kosher, potassium sorbate, less than 1/10% of benzoate of soda as a preservative, citric acid, pure lemon extract. There you go. That's what's in there.
And you could probably buy the bulk version of the foaming agents at Modernist Pantry.
Yeah.
Or you could use eggs.
Or use eggs. Or aquafaba.
Or
So,
aquafaba. Yep.
On Amazon, it's described Fee foam is a solution to give your shaken drinks a foamy head by adding only 2 dashes before
She
shaking.
said head.
Your creations will have a finishing touch that is visually appealing.
So we're, and normally you, actually the drink as it stands, the recipe for the drink calls for a dry shake and then add ice. We're not going to do that. We're going to do my usual trick, which is to invert that process. So we're going to do a wet shake to start with, just to bring these ingredients together. Chill that down. I'm not going to get a lot of foam off of this. The ice is breaking apart the foam, not allowing it to stabilize. Like, so why did you do that? Well, so what we're going to do here is we're going to put a strainer on this. We're going to double strain back into this glass. And then we're going to do the dry shake. And I think this gives me a much more stable head on the drink. So much so that I've had problems with holding this together when I've done similar things. So good firm grip on here. And yep, foaming, look at this, it's foaming, spitting all over the place, getting all over me. This is why bartenders have bartender aprons. There we go. All right, we need 2 glasses for this. And somewhere in here, a similar glass. Ta-da. Strain this. Doop. That's a nice orangey color.
Kristen says, fee, fi, fo, foam.
I smell the blood of an Englishman making gin. Wait, no, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so we're going to throw some ice in here.
And Molly says hi. Yeah.
Hello, Molly. I'm just going to throw a little bit of ice in. More ice in. And then, fine. And then we top this off with a little club soda, or in this case, I want to give it a little extra special kick. So I'm going to use some San Pellegrino Italian Sparkling Clementine and Peach Soda, which is really light and refreshing. It's going to add another flavor profile to that. What am I doing? Forgetting all sorts of things. Pour this down the side of your bar spoon, and it will help incorporate the bubbles throughout the drink. There we go. Got that. Do the same here. I'm not sure I believe the physics on this, but you know, it seems to work. And by believe the physics means I'm not sure I can explain it. And there we go. And this is the fairy floss. Oh, we have those aren't spoons, those are straws.
Straws.
Straws is the word I'm looking for. By
Surfside Sips.
So what's this one? This one is standard dark blue glass. It's a fairly wide diameter straw. We're just going to stick that right in there.
20% off with code Lovecraft.
And then this one is one of their straw Thulus, which is of course in green with tentacle suckers on the end there. That can go right there. Do you have a preference as to which one of these
I
you
was
would
going
like?
to give them the straw Thulu so they
Okay.
can enjoy it.
Ooh,
So.
goody.
Then I will take a sip of this. That's wow. There's definitely Uncle Val's in that.
Ooh.
But I mean, it is really definitely Uncle Val's, but it is moderated really nicely. The flavors on that actually do come really nice together. I'm really actually quite impressed by that. I would not have suspected. That's pretty nifty. The if you like Uncle Val's, you'll love that drink. And so, what do you think, Nancy?
It's good. I like it.
Vince is doing the I may or may not get any of that.
So do you
Now
have
you
the,
know how I feel.
Do you have the lightsaber straw for Tuesday?
He does. I saw
You mean this one right here?
it.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday's May the 4th.
Right. This is actually what I was using as a tasting straw earlier. So yeah, yes, I do. In fact, right there.
You can taste the white grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's a bit sweet for mine.
Really? I like it.
Christoph
Yes.
says hi.
Christoph, hey, how you doing? It's been a while. All right. So that's two drinks. We got the Greenman. We got the green covered, fresh vegetation, spring things growing. We got fairy floss because fairies, I guess. Whatever. Pagan fairies. Yay! Oh, my friends are going to kill me for that. Right? As all of my pagan friends are going to come after me with pitchforks. Great. Okay. So there's two. Look, I'm a little Catholic boy. What do I know for Beltane? Come on. Just because I married a pagan doesn't mean by osmosis I suddenly have massive amonts of knowledge. Sure. But yeah, she seems to still like me. So it's all good.
Bonita.
Yay! Bonita's here. So we're all complete. All right, that's it for an evening. Bye. No, wait. Amongst other things that Beltane is known for, it are for things like maypoles and bonfires. The fires of Beltane are a thing, and big, massive, roaring bonfires. We are Quarantiki after all, so we're gonna have to do something with flame, and so that's what we're gonna do for the third drink this evening. We're gonna do a communal bowl drink, and so large and lots of and strong with flames. There, you like those things? Strong flames. I think that's the symbol for. This is the symbol for Beltane. Flames. Strong flaming. Yeah. Okay. No, that's Gay Pride Week. Yes. All right. So what are we going to do for this drink? This drink is a large format drink. So I'm not going to double the recipe for this one. And in fact, I'm a little concerned as to whether or not I can fit everything into a shaker. So what I may do is just roll this back and forth between a couple of blender tins. That might be better. Oh, what an idea. We could do that. We can do that. All right, I'm going to flip this bowl over, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to pull out a crouton. Because, yeah, croutons, right? Dude, you're not putting a crouton in this drink, are you? No. I'm taking a crouton, set it into the volcano portion of my bowl, and I'm going to soak that in lemon extract. Yes, that is the trick. Don't use your 151 for burning. It produces a blue flame that you can't see unless it's really dark. The lemon extract is almost as high in alcohol content, or in some cases higher, and yeah, do not pour near open flame. Adds a pleasing lemon scent to things when they're burning, and produces an orangish yellow flame, which you can see. And the crouton just gives it a little more stability than just having the liquid in it, and it'll burn a little longer. So that's why we put the crouton in, soak the crouton in the lemon extract. I'll add a little more just before we start the flames.
Does a sugar cube work?
Yes, in fact, I keep sugar cubes under here for same purpose. The sugar cube is a little more napalmy. If you get the sugar cube really soaked in and it spills on something, it will cake to it. And
that's a very good point.
Yeah. So, but I absolutely, I used to use sugar cubes. Now it's one of those things where, hey, I got stale bread. Yay, I can make tiki flames. Congratulations. All right, so what am I doing here? This is actually a variation on an old tiki recipe called the Volcano Bowl. There's no connection between volcanoes and Beltane, near as I can figure. Most of the Beltane rites, to the best of my knowledge, are Celtic in origin, which means predominantly Northern Europe. There's a dearth of volcanoes in Northern Europe, Mediterranean. There's a lot of them, but to the best of my knowledge, there's no connection between volcanoes and Beltane. Hun? Am I wrong? Hun's like, I don't know, whatever.
Well, and especially the whole, volcanoes, virgin, Beltane, anti-virgin.
We're on the anti-virgin thing. This is the anti-virgin drink. There's a lot of alcohol in this drink, so we're gonna have some fun with this. I'm playing around with all sorts of pieces of this cocktail. One of the pieces is the syrups, or the sweet ingredients, which the Volcano Bowl traditionally has a combination of simple syrup or demerara syrup and maple syrup in it. Like, okay, and also tends to produce kind of a brown colored liquid. So we're going to use hibiscus syrup instead, because I want the red, because Beltane and lava and that sort of thing. So, nope, we said there's no connection between volcanoes and Beltane. I'm sure someone will dissuade us of that notion. This does say thrashers, tinctures, and tonics. No, tonics and elixirs hibiscus syrup. That lies. Well, that's what was in the bottle. What is in the bottle now is homemade hibiscus syrup. But this way I don't have to relabel it. It just says hibiscus syrup. Right? So, okay, so we're going to go with 3/4 of an ounce of hibiscus syrup, which is this vibrant red color, which is absolutely gorgeous. When I make my homemade grenadine, I do a split base of the pomegranate syrup and the hibiscus syrup to get a little more vibrant red. because the pomegranate syrup tends to produce a pretty dark red. Grenadine. Wow. Yeah. Oh my
Kristen
goodness.
says she loves the studio audience. She likes all the laughter.
That would be me.
At my expense. Yeah, no. All right, what else is going in here? 2 ounces of lime juice, which I think I put down here. 2 ounces of lime juice. And if you're thinking, wow, 2 ounces of lime juice, that's a lot of lime juice for a cocktail.
I was just thinking that's a lot of lime juice for a cocktail.
Remember, this is intended for a group to be a group drink or a communal drink. So, yeah, I
Because
think
we're all vaccinated.
yeah, I think the menu that we're taking this from actually says it's a drink for 3, but we're having multiple cocktails this evening, so maybe it's a drink for 4 this evening. 6 ounces of grapefruit juice. So I had to get a second can out. So we're going to start with this one. So there's, let's see, 2. Because inconveniently, these are 5.5 ounces. All right, so that's done. Dead soldier. Where's the other one? Here we go.
Jeff says we might be a laugh track.
Would it dissuade you if you saw hands come up and clap on screen? Would that help, Jeff? If it was a laugh track, it would be happening a lot more often. 2, 4, and 6 ounces grapefruit juice. I'm not sure I've ever used more than 1 can of grapefruit juice in a single Quarantiki broadcast before, so this is kind of interesting.
Studio audience.
Studio audience. 1/2 ounce of an apricot liqueur, and this is another one of the modifications that I'm making to the cocktail. I don't honestly remember what the other liqueur component was, but we're swapping out and doing an apricot because, well, apricot is associated with Venus, and Venus, goddess of love, sure, why not? Seems very Beltane to me. So 1/2 ounce, but again, what do I know? Little Christian boy here, right? So there's a 1/2 ounce, the apricot. I did, before we all started this evening, I have a bottle in the back of an apricot flavored brandy, and I did a taste of that, and I did a taste of the Gifford's apricot liqueur. You'll note I'm using the Gifford's apricot liqueur. Yeah, it's just it's a much better apricot flavor than the poor, probably artificially apricot flavored brandy that I had.
But you know why we have apricot brandy?
For Hungarian coffee.
Yes.
And you can use the cheap apricot flavored brandy for
Right.
Hungarian coffee
Right.
because it fits. It's appropriate.
All right. So my favorite
cheap brandy for the Hungarians.
My
yeah.
favorite Hungarian, my beloved ex, loves Hungarian coffee. Whether this is something only he knows about or is actually a known thing, we never know because Hungarians invented everything good, according to him.
According to him. Yes.
So,
Apparently they invented things like poker and all sorts of
Right.
other stuff. So, yeah.
But Romanians invented accordions. So,
Well, yeah. Okay, so we're going to start in on the beefy portions of tonight's cocktail. We need 3 ounces of Demerara rum. You could use any Demerara rum. You could use any one of the Eldorados would be perfectly fine for this. We're actually going to go a slightly different direction. We're going to go with Pussers. As you may know, Pussers is a formulation of rum that is primarily Demerara rum, but it is comes off of specific stills in specific percentages to make this blend to try and match as close as possible the old English tot that was given out. This is based on the recipe that somebody paid a lot of money for to recreate that particular British tot. So it's going to have it's not going to be as simple as just a simple Demerara rum. So we're going to add a little bit of complexity there. We're going to go 3 ounces of the Pussers. I am also not using the Pussers 15 year for this. We've got it, but I think with all the other ingredients in here, you're just not going to notice the difference there. You want the major notes from the rum to come through. And those wooden notes that you get from aging for 15 years are just going to be lost in this cocktail. So don't go spending the good, more expensive bussers on this. Then we need 2 ounces of Jamaican rum, and the recipe, the traditional volcano bowl recipe says a lightly aged golden Jamaican rum. Like, I'm not even sure what that entirely means. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, sure, fine, why not? I got friends over. So we're going to split that between 2 Jamaican rums. We're going to start with the Smith & Cross.
Yay!
Yay, because Smith & Cross is just awesome, right? At 57% alcohol, we're going to go 1 ounce of that. So the Pussers rocks in at 43%. So, you know, it's a kind of standard rum. Smith & Cross is slightly overproof. There you go. And it is in the British blended style of Jamaican rums. So it should go really well with the Pussers. And then we're going to throw in some Rum Bar white overproof Jamaican Worthy Park rum at a whopping 63% alcohol. Yeah. I'll be in my bunk. It is Beltane, right? We were getting a virtual tour from Matt Petrick of the Diamond Distillery in Guyana. It's the only distillery that is left. And at one point there was a vat of fermenting sugarcane juice, and one of the comments in the class was, "I'm now getting naked and proceeding to leap in." I think that would be rather warm, but well, maybe nice. And very sticky. Apparently, the original cocktail recipe doesn't think that's enough rum for the cocktail. It's like, oh, it's not quite there. We need to lengthen it out a little bit, but we don't need to add any more rum flavors to it. So it's just an ounce of some Puerto Rican rum. Okay, fine. You should know me. I'm not going to go for that. We're going to go for something that's got a little more kick to it. We're going to go with the Bacardi 8 because it's the only Puerto Rican rum I have within reach here. No, Pooch, do not reach for the Cuban 151. No, that would be bad. We do have a bottle of the Cuban-inspired 151 from Lost Spirits, and I was really tempted to do that. But, yeah, it's a good thing that I didn't try and put this in a standard shaker. That was not going to work. There we go. That's what goes in there. I'm going to throw some ice into this tin, and then we're just going to roll it back and forth. Because, yeah, unless I have like a big shaker, which I don't, so we're not going to do that. It does say that this drink should be shaken with crushed ice, a fair amount of it. Gee, I wonder why. There's like 6 ounces of rum in this, plus the Difford's apricot. So we're just going to kind of roll this back and forth. Trying to get a little dilution, and you're trying to get this cold, which shaker tins are a little heavier metal than blender tins, which means, yeah, this is getting really cold on my hands pretty quickly. Now tell me that doesn't sound good to you.
It sounds beautiful.
And it's a little reddish in color. All right, and then I'm going to stick a straw in here and give this a taste. See if I need to correct anything.
We have a Camella.
No, I think that's good. Wow. We're not actually going to put this over clean ice. We're just going to use that ice. I'm going to stick this in a party bowl. It's got a spindle in the middle that has a little depression here so that you can put 151 or lemon extract in it. And then this just goes right in. And if it doesn't fill the bowl up, you can add more ice. We're pretty good here. That came out remarkably nicely. I'm going to add a little bit more of my lemon extract if I can, there it is, find it. Because I want flames. All right. Now we're going to try this. I don't know that this is going to work. I completely don't know, but we're going to give it a try. So we are going to do something that I did with the last shaker and spoon. So we're going to create some flame, and then we're going to spritz some alcohol across the flame to try and light this. So let's see if we can do this. There's flame. We'll hold it there and whoosh, whoosh. There we go. There. Ah, that worked.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
You should wave in front of the camera, Vince, so they believe in you.
There's flames. So the
Just a figment.
Beltane Bonfire, folks. I give that to you. So as always with cocktails that have flaming components, you should not let your friends drink from this until the flames have died down some. You can scrape some like cinnamon over this. If you've got it, and you see you'll get a few little sparks coming off of that. Yeah, see that? Yep. You can do that with nutmeg as well to get that same effect. If you really wanted to be good about it, you would put cinnamon in like a little shaker like this ahead of time, and then you would just shake over, and then you get flames like that, right?
Pretty.
And you really hope that you don't light your puffer fish on fire, things like that. But there you go.
Or the paper mache.
And you'll note
Kraken.
that you end up with a lot of cinnamon scattered around the bowl, but that should be pretty tasty, I would think, at some point. But fires, Beltane, the Beltane Bonfire, leaping over the bonfire. Whee!
Okay,
See?
you've convinced me with the crouton and the extract.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? I mean,
That's amazing.
I mean, if you want to turn down the lights a little bit, and you'll see even more flames from this. Right? Look at that. There you go. Flames. Ooh, flames. It used to be a thing in tiki restaurants where they would light the drinks on fire, and then they would like parade them around in the bar. Apparently, there's some issues with safety of doing that, especially
And
with things
hairspray.
like 151 floats on these kinds of drinks and that sort of thing. So yeah, they stopped doing that, which is kind of sad. But then a lot of them do it at the table now.
Yeah.
So they'll bring this to the table and it won't
And
be.
then light it.
And it'll, Actually, I've never seen them go. They use a
Yeah.
little lighter thing. I think that's cool. Just to,
Yeah.
so you could take it. Now that you got flames, you could just that'd be good. Except that my computer is my computer is right there, and so one of two things would happen. I would have flames on my computer, or I would just have what is this grapefruit lavender alcohol sprayed in my keyboard. Not such a good thing for a MacBook Pro, I would assume. So if you don't want to sit here and wait for the crouton to burn out, what do? Well, it'll burn actually a fairly long time. You can take water, just put some water in, and then use your long tongs like this, and just take that little guy. You can move him out and stick him into there. He'll just go out. And now you just have the lemon extract sitting there and burning.
I'll let you try it with my straw.
Okay. Straw hat. Cheap straw. Well, no, actually not cheap straw hat. This is several $100s worth of straw hat. New Taipei dollars. It was like 11 bucks US. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so appetizing. This is what's left of your crouton. And you're gonna
I'm gonna carry the flame.
My goodness.
let the pagan carry the flame.
Yes.
Make sure emo is not about.
Yeah. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. So there you go. We have the Beltane Bonfire with hibiscus syrup, lime juice, grapefruit juice, apricot liqueur, demerara rum, Jamaican rum, Puerto Rican rum, and some crushed ice. You could also just put a cap over the, if you wanted to just put that out, you could put a cap over it. One of your shot glasses would work just fine if you wanted to make sure that those flames were completely out. There you go.
The flames are out.
Ta-da! Who knew flames require oxygen to actually happen? And yes, you'll note that one of the sad effects of having a studio audience is I get even less of the drinks that I make.
Oh, wow. All right, this one.
So apparently this is a big hit. People like the
This one is definitely for me. That is good.
Okay, so we have a.
what do we
Dave says we've been on a cruise ship that did a parade of flaming baked Alaskans.
what did the Alaskans ever do to you? Oh my gosh. The poor indigenous population. Like wow. Now, baked Alaskans.
Maybe they were just getting hot.
Baked Alaskans, so a bunch of drunk Alaskans parading around a cruise boat. Yeah, that or high Alaskans.
Greg says combining flames and intoxicating liquor. What could possibly go wrong?
Go wrong.
Nothing I can
Go
do.
wrong. Go wrong. Go wrong.
And Amanda says, don't hurt the machines. They will remember it in the coming uprising. Hail Alexa.
You know, machines, I could swap out the grapefruit lavender oil for WD-40 if that would be better. Yeah. I'm not sure how flammable that is, but it's probably reasonably flammable. So there you go. There's our tribute to the Rites of Beltane. We did it.
Surfside Sip does make long.
Oh yeah, Surfside Sip does make long straws. Actually, Surfside Sips does custom straws. So if you want, party straws, I'm sure they would do them for you. You could have multiple octopi on them, and that sort of thing. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. So what did we do this evening? We did the Greenman, simple drink: gin, Midori, lime, a little oolong infused vodka. If you didn't want to do the oolong infused vodka, it would still be good. There's an Irish gin that is infused with Earl Grey, I think. You could probably just use that for the entirety of the gin for that cocktail, and that would probably be quite tasty as well. I noticed that Nancy's ears perked up. Like, what was this? I can't even remember the name of that gin. My brain is saying it's Rochambeau, and that's totally wrong. So yeah, I'll have to pull that out.
Gunpowder gin.
Right, but there's another brand name for it. So we did the Greenman. That's a nice, simple, cool cocktail, lengthened with Prosecco. And then we did the Fairy Floss. I think I did these in the right order, because the Fairy Floss is a little more complex than the Greenman. It's not quite as bright, but it's certainly the botanical elements of the Uncle Val's come through without being overwhelming, which... That's quite a feat to be able to put a cocktail together that the Uncle Val's is not overwhelming on. Quite nice. That is also lengthened by the soda that you use. I think the San Pellegrino Clementine Peach actually added to that, whereas a club soda would just be kind of eh. The Beltane Bonfire, if you really wanted to, you could kick this up several other notches. You could throw a little bit of absinthe in there, play around with some bitters to add a little more complexity to it. But the looks I'm getting from the table as this party bowl is just dwindling and
Two thumbs up.
says I may have to go make another one. I don't know. So there you go. Have a great spring. It's certainly, almost without a doubt, going to be better than last spring. And as we all get...
cursed us.
No. Almost without a doubt. People are getting their vaccinations. We got our vaccination cards. It's the only reason we have a live audience tonight. So I urge you, get your vaccination. Go out and see some people and socialize again after you've gotten the vaccination.
And your 2-week wait.
And your 2-week wait, or however long the week wait is, depending on the shot that you get. And because we all need it. We all need to see people and interact with people, and not on a screen like what I'm currently doing now with all of you. Look, I'm doing my best here, all right, to bring a little socialization to our lives. I plan on continuing to do this just as long as you'll have me here. And this is 55. Wow.
I'm amazed. That's
Wow.
remarkable.
I figured we'd do like a dozen of these, and that would be kind of fun, cute. And then we kept buying rum, and so I think it's still cute. But I'm going to continue to do these just as long as you'll have me. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks so much to the live studio audience. You have a nice parting gift of. Oh wait, you've had your parting gifts: the fairy floss, the Greenman, and the Beltane bonfire. Here is Virginia T. Maven,
Follow me on
Nancy,
Instagram.
and I'm gonna have a little bit of my party drink because.
There is some more in the bowl.
There is
over
some
here.
in the bowl.
There is
No,
some in
this
the
is
bowl.
mine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Um,
And then now I should
Amanda
probably.
says,
Right.
looking-
Questions. Right.
Amanda said looking forward to her in person.
Yay!
TV.
The bar has been set for a studio audience,
Yeah.
Amanda. So you're gonna have your A game here.
Yeah. David said thanks once again for Sunday evening entertainment.
Hey, David, what are you having for dinner? Actually, David, what are you guys drinking? Because usually you guys tell us what you're drinking. Were you
Chris
not drinking?
says that we have
Oh,
sold a lot of rum because our friends have bought rum. Strawberry mojitos is what they're having tonight.
strawberry mojitos. Okay, I was really hoping that's what they were having, and not a request for me to do them. So I'm gonna drink the last of my Fijian rum, which I started with. Toast. We got pretty toasty with the flames there. That was kind of impressive. I was not at all sure that the whole spritz to get the flame going was going to work, and I was pretty pleased with that. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping we got a good visual on that one. I'm thinking we maybe did. I gotta go because that drink is getting even lower. So if I want any of it, I got to get over there. So I'll see you guys all later next week. Love you. This is Lovecraft Cocktails signing off for another day.